In Julian Esparelli's TED Talk, How Culture Drives Behavior, he states that we view the world through cultural glasses. The lens in which we view the world shapes our reality. If we can learn to change that lens, not only can we change the way that our brain perceives behavior, but we can change the way that people relate to cultural differences. The first time I read through the book The Giver, I had a hard time understanding why the people behaved the way they did. After reading through chapter 5 of our communication textbook, I realized that I wasn't changing my lens regarding the community. This proverbial lens can be represented by the 7 major communication variations as described in our chapter 5 of our communication textbook. They are high and low context cultures, collectivist versus individualist orientations, comfort with anxiety, masculine and feminine orientations, power distance, time orientation, and the value of emotional expression. In addition to these 7 variations, there are also co-cultures that will play into effect. Today, I will be talking more about these variations and the co-cultures as described in the book The Giver. First, let's take a look at the variations. In the book The Giver, O'Hare states that the 7 variations are oftentimes thought as opposites, when in fact they actually run along a spectrum. Your community can be masculine in some ways and feminine in others. So in the book The Giver, the community is portrayed as a low context culture. High and low context cultures differ on how much they rely on context to relay their messages. So in the community, they thrive on very direct language. Using words like maybe or just avoiding a question altogether would be considered extremely rude, and you'd more than likely be met with a punishment. They are also a collectivist culture. Collectivist communities view themselves as part of a group where harmony and cooperation are the main goal, whereas individualist communities value each other's autonomy. The community has done away with differences. Everyone and everyone is the same. The Giver explains to Jonas that at one point the reason that they have done away with differences is so that way they can gain control. They are also a high uncertainty avoidance culture. O'Hare states that high uncertainty avoidance cultures have a need for absolute truth, correct answers, and stability, whereas low uncertainty avoidance cultures have a higher tolerance for the unknown. So in one instance, Jonas asks his father if he loves him. Love is not a concept that is known to the community because they take pills to keep their thoughts and their feelings at bay. So his father replies to him and says, Jonas, you of all people, precision of language, please. Another way that they avoid uncertainty is by forcing sameness on everybody. They are also a little bit of a masculine community, and they do display some feminine traits. So with masculine communities, they value competitiveness, assertiveness, achievement. And we are shown in the book how with new children, they only keep the children that can meet their goals and their standards. If a mother has twins, they will get rid of the twin that is the smallest or not as developed. They're also feminine in the instance of they are always trying to be polite and they don't try to hurt other people's feelings. They are also a high power distance community. In high power distance communities, people with less power accept their positions as a basic fact of life. Whereas in low power distance communities, they will communicate more freely with people of power and try to resist coercion. So with the community, they have accepted the fact that sameness is just their way of life. The council of elders rule everything about their lives. In regard to time, they are a monochronic time culture where they value every minute and try to make it count, whereas polychronic cultures are less concerned with time. With emotional expression, the community uses language that is considered an understatement versus colorful hyperbole. Without trying to give away too much, when they use the word release, that is a major understatement from what they actually mean. In addition to variations, co-cultures will further communication differences. O'Hare states that co-cultures are groups whose members are at least some of the general culture, share some of the general culture's system of thoughts and behaviors, have distinct characteristics or attitudes that unify them and distinguish them from the general culture. So in the book, we are given differences with age. We have the new children, then the school-age children, which are broken up. Year 1, year 2, year 3, they have different goals that they have to meet. Then we have family units, parentless adults, and the old. They're also broken up into their assignments or their jobs that they have. We have birth mothers, service workers, nurturers, or like Jonas, who's the only receiver. So as we can see, cultural variations play a heavy role in how communication is portrayed and received. It can vary even more within cultures. If you do not learn to change your lens when communicating with others, understanding their behaviors will be even more difficult. Thank you.